Good people, I come to you today with a topic that I have never talked about before on this channel. Well, mainly because I haven't watched the WNBA since the once Houston Comets won back to back to back to back championships. But this topic has been circulating around the sports media landscape and social media for a while now, and that's about Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise in popularity and her impact on the WNBA. The reason I actually want to discuss this, though, has some to do with, yes, sports, and also partly because of this narrative that has been pushed by the media, at least lately anyway, and some of the women in the WNBA, which is that Caitlin Clark's fans are somehow racist, using her name to promote hate and division, and only like her because she is white. There's enough irony in this statement alone to cure anybody that is deficient in this, by the way. But imagine being the person to tell another person to speak out against hate while at the same time hating on the person that you're saying needs to speak out on the hate of the people who support her with no supporting data to actually back that claim. The amazing thing about this Caitlin Clark's phenomenon and the current interest in her, more so than the interest in the WNBA, because let's be honest, no one cares about that sport, is that we have seen this in sports and people are acting like this is something new all of a sudden. At the early stages of the NBA, the league had plenty of stars and great players in it like Wilt, Bill Russell, Kareem, Oscar Robertson, Dr. J, to name a few, but the sport couldn't even make it to live TV until two players came into the league known as Bird and Magic. From the start of the NBA until the NBA finals were actually played on live TV, 36 years had passed, and it happened because of the popularity of those two individuals in Bird and Magic. Even in another sport, if we take a look at it, like golf, before Tiger Woods broke into the scene, the sport had its niche fans, much like the WNBA has right now, or had before Caitlin Clark anyway. And then Tiger brought in a new audience and buzz, which benefited the sport, even though Tiger was not the first person of color to actually play in the sport, much like Caitlin isn't the first white woman to play in the WNBA. People were excited for Tiger, and no one claimed that the fans of his were somehow racist. We can even look into a sport like tennis with Serena and Venus, and they had the same impact on that sport, much like Caitlyn is having now. Having said this, did Tiger and the Williams sisters get some hate for being black in those mostly white dominated sports? Of course they did. But no one said that their fans were racist. The people that were actually criticized and called racist were the ones who were actually going against Tiger and the Williams sisters, and the same logic should be applied in this Caitlin Clark scenario, but it won't because nowadays hypocrisy has been woven into our society. Much like Tiger for golf and the Williams sisters for tennis, most people only watch those sports for them, much like people are watching the WNBA for Caitlin. And just like in the aforementioned examples, that should be enough. But it isn't because these activists that call themselves athletes and media members don't want it to be. They must find out why this white woman is so popular. It just can't be that her game is nice and people are calling her the female Steph Curry, which no other woman that has played or is currently playing in that league plays like her. It can't be that she doesn't whine and play victim, or that she doesn't go around in the media throwing shade at other players like what's being thrown at her, or is a self absorbed brat. No, it can't be any of those things because dang it, this country has to be just as racist as it was back pre civil rights. Now comes the time, good people, in this video where I'm going to share and say some harsh words about this situation, and some people are about to get mad, and YouTube might even shadow ban my video, but this needs to be said. Racism is alive and well in this country, and it's the people who think like they do that's showing it. They don't like the fact that a white woman is the reason that the WNBA is even being talked about as much as it is, and they can't stand it. They would rather continue on being professional victims crying about inequality instead of having a white woman be the reason they are going to be prosperous. That is racist as hell. But because they are black, they believe that racism, hate, and division, for some reason, can't come from them because we have racist as hell people all over TV and social media telling them they can't be when they're just flat out wrong. So much for that Dr. Martin Luther King way of thinking. The content of character over skin color. There's a saying that's pretty popular that goes, they that don't acknowledge their past is doomed to repeat it. But I think we need to change it. And it needs to go a little something like this. They that stay looking into the past will never move forward to the future, and sooner rather than later will become the very same thing that they swore that they hate. But hey, let me know what y'all think in the comments about this situation, good, bad, or indifferent. But until the next video, I hope you all have a good one. Hate is not a one-way street. Take care.